The 2009 Royal Rumble went off the air with Randy Orton standing in the ring as the biggest demon the company had ever seen. Fresh off of punting Vince in the head just days after getting slapped by Stephanie, Randy Orton was going to the main event of WrestleMania, and he did it while eliminating Stephanie's husband and Vince's son-in-law. Every single week, Randy's character was developing into a full-blown psychopath, and the company had officially had its new supervillain. Despite winning the Rumble, despite having a guaranteed pass at the main event of Mania, this man continued tormenting the entire McMahon family and honestly the entire roster. And after seeing her father get collapsed, after being scared for her life, Steph was left with no choice but to bring back her brother Shane to avenge the family name and to finally put an end to the Apex Predator. No Way Out, which was going to take place just 3 weeks after the Rumble, was supposed to be just another filler pay-per-view between the Rumble and Mania, but now it was going to be Shane McMahon taking on Randy Orton in a no DQ match, the Psycho versus the Psycho Killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Instead of playing it safe, the company with No Way Out was going to flip the wrestling world upside down and set up WrestleMania 25 in a beautiful way. Not only was Randy going to take on Shane, but Edge and Cena were both going to defend their world titles in two absolutely stacked Elimination Chamber matches, and everything was going to get up. No Way Out 2009 is one of the best B-level pay-per-views I've ever seen. A masterclass in pivoting, storytelling, and honestly, just shit going down. A show that did exactly what it was supposed to do, and that was make WrestleMania that year must see. So after talking about how the Rumble 09 was a classic last month, it's only where we go back in time and take a look at the classic that was No Way Out 2009 and the amazing build to WrestleMania 25. Let's get into it. The show begins with the first Elimination Chamber match of the night for the WWE Championship, and to say it was stacked would be an understatement. Edge was defending his title against Jeff Hardy, Triple H, Undertaker, Vladimir Kozlov, and the Big Show. All I wanted was Edge to lose this match. Of course, I wanted Jeff to win deep down, but I was just happy if Edge lost. That was the main goal. I didn't care if Vladimir Kozlov won and went to Mania and main evented. I just needed Edge to lose, but deep down, I knew that wasn't happening. And the chamber match started with who else but Jeff Hardy and Edge. And I have a question. What if I told you that this might be a top 5 Elimination Chamber match of all time? The match started off hotter than Prime Lola Bunny and Space Jam. No lockups, no gauging distance, it was straight offense. Jeff and Edge went crazy. Forearms, crossbodies, head scissors. Less than 2 minutes into the match, Jeff out of nowhere hit Edge with a twist of fate, and I was like, wait, what? This early? No way. So Jeff goes for the Swanton. It's only been like 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and he predictably misses, and it's like, okay, time to slow it down, time for things to get back to normal. Boom, Edge goes for the spear, Jeff counters, 1, 2, 3, 2 minutes and 59 seconds into the match, the champion was eliminated. Edge gets eliminated just like that, and the crowd goes insane. I go insane, and for the first time ever, the first elimination at an Elimination Chamber match took place before the third entrant was even in the match, and it just happened to be the defending champion. Finally, yo, guys, this was like Christmas for me. Finally, that disgusting, slimy, evil piece of shit Edge finally got a taste of his own medicine and lost his title in the most embarrassing way. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this was therapeutic, okay? After all those years of abuse from this man, seeing him get clapped in 3 minutes by Jeff Hardy as the crowd went crazy, it was therapeutic, and I was just there like singing, na 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 na, hey, goodbye. This was a peak childhood memory for yours truly, especially after the Rumble, and this time, there was no Matt Hardy to ruin it. Edge sells it perfectly. He was raging, screaming, Triple H was laughing at him, and just 3 minutes into the match, not only did we know we were getting a new champion, but that new champion was gonna go to WrestleMania, and of course, in my eyes, it was Jeff Hardy's time to shine. Was I scared of The Undertaker? Yeah, of course. Was I worried Triple H might tweak? Of course. But with Edge out, I was on cloud 9. The bad man couldn't hurt me anymore. But Jeff Hardy, though, he put in work in this match. Such an underrated performance by Jeff Hardy. Just weeks after losing the title, he was out here working like he had something to prove. Shout out to Lil Baby, and he did his thing. And once everyone was in this match, yeah, it was special. Taker was out here hitting last rides, Triple H was hitting all of his spots, but my favorite spot for sure was when I felt like the entire ring and the chamber structure was gonna come crashing down and hurt inside. So during the match, Jeff Hardy was on the pod and Big Show was trying to throw him off. Undertaker goes up there with no regard for humanity and decides to superplex this 500-pound fat ass, and for those brief seconds, it genuinely felt like we were gonna go down and we were yelling timber. Big Show gets superplexed, and then Jeff Hardy, this guy, this legend, this monster. Final 3 were Jeff, Triple H, and The Undertaker. What a time to be alive. Whispers in the wind getting rejected. I was getting rejected on Facebook messages. On Taker trying old school. I loved it when Jeff used Taker's body as a launcher to clap Triple H. This was like the SmackDown 2008 All-Star game. But sadly, all good things come to an end, and sadly, Jeff Hardy definitely came to an end in this match, but it was so fire, and it was down to 2. Now, was I sad Jeff lost? Yeah, of course, but even as a young fan watching this, one, I was just excited to watch a pay-per-view for free, so they could have had anything happen, I would have been happy, but this was so cool that I wasn't even mad. Like, yeah, Triple H and Taker, I'm down, lock me in. And most importantly, at least Edge wasn't there, right? So it's Taker and Triple H, and 2 years before they met at WrestleMania and dropped back-to-back classics, just like how Taker and HBK at the Rumble 07 as the final 2 dropped a classic impromptu match. Yeah, these two do the same thing. For 10 minutes to cap off this amazing match, it was Triple H vs Undertaker with a rowdy-ass crowd, title on the line, winner goes to Mania as champion, and for 10 minutes these two beat the hell out of each other. We were so lucky that we saw Jim Ross doing commentary at this point because he was tweaking watching this, and what made it so fun was the crowd was genuinely split. There were Taker chants, there were Triple H chants, and I gotta tell you, when Taker hits him with the tombstone and Triple H just barely gets his foot on the rope at 2.9, it's pretty legendary. Taker kicks out of the pedigree, Jim Ross is screaming, "My God!" You know what match is fire when Jim Ross brings God into the equation? Triple H reverses the last ride, hits him with the pedigree, and wins the title. 35-minute chamber match, and honestly, not one dull moment. See, Vladimir, you can do it. I believe in you. Not one dull moment. Best elimination ever to start off the damn match. These boys dropped a classic, and it was all set. Triple H was the WWE champion, and we all knew where this was going, and we all knew what we were getting. Randy Orton versus Triple H for the title, former mentor versus teacher, Vince's son-in-law, Shane's brother-in-law, the runner-up in the Royal Rumble, Steph's husband. Triple H was going to step in against the Apex Predator in the main event of WrestleMania. It literally wrote itself. And it was going to be a classic, right? Right, guys? After the match, Triple H and Taker have a long stare down. The respect is there, and it just kind of cemented that what we saw was definitely something special. So the main event of Mania was basically set, not confirmed, but set, but we still had to see the other half of that match do his thing, and it was time for Randy Orton to catch a body. Shane vs Randy is not some amazing, legendary, iconic match that you always hear get talked about. I wouldn't say it's a top 5 Shane McMahon match, but it is a very important match for the story for Randy Orton, and I loved it as a kid, and it's still really fire in my opinion. But Randy makes his entrance and Shane comes out, he's ready to be a kamikaze. Steph is shown watching the match backstage, and with these two in the ring and the McMahon legacy on the line, they have a wild brawl. Literally like a minute into the match, there were already tables and weapons being brought out, backs were being broken, Shane was getting thrown around, so he comes back with a kendo stick and just decides to give Randy all the CTE he can, which was probably not a good idea because this right here is probably what led Randy to go even more insane against the McMahon family. Yo, these guys killed each other, as they should. It felt real, it felt authentic. For once, Shane wasn't throwing his stupid ass punches, it felt legit. I was 10 watching this live, and all I ever wanted from wrestling was violence, and that's exactly what we got here. It didn't matter if it was the PG era, they were gonna wild out for the culture. Yo, at one point, Randy gets his head bashed in with the TV monitor, and he starts bleeding hard away, so it's like he wasn't even trying to bleed, but he was bleeding. God bless blood and wrestling. Randy's dripping everywhere, Legacy came out, the little rats they were, Shane souls them because he's that guy, and Shane at one point just goes straight Super Saiyan mode. Not only is Randy bleeding out waiting to get revived, Cody gets DDT'd on a chair, he gets hit with a coast to coast, and then Shane proceeds to get up like nothing happened, like he's Perk Shane apparently. He gets up and it ain't a Shane McMahon match unless he's saying his prayers and sacrificing his body for the culture. And what does he do? Well, he says his prayers and he sacrifices his body and he flies through the air just for Randy to move, and he gets absolutely clapped. This 90-second sequence was so awesome. Shane McMahon's legacy was on the line and he delivered in every way. Orton at this point looked so demonic and proceeded to just beat the hell out of Shane. Through a table, stomping all over his body, but Shane wasn't gonna go down that easily. No. The ending to this match was fantastic, so Shane was able to survive everything that Randy threw at him, and after hitting his spear, he went off with a chair on Randy, and he tried breaking his ankle, breaking his leg, just going off on Randy, 3-4 straight shots into his ankle, and Randy actually starts to plead. He's like, "Please Shane, no more, I'm sorry, I give up, no more, he begs for mercy, and Shane's like, "Nah bro, you killed my dad." He knocks him back down, and he wants to give him a taste of his own medicine. Shane, instead of hitting with a chair again and just winning the match, goes to the corner, because he wants to punt Randy in the head. He wants to do the exact same thing Randy did to his father. So he goes to the corner, he wants to punt, he wants to send him straight to hell. So Shane runs, he's going for the punt, RKO, nope, RKO, he's out like a light. Randy Orton, the slithery, oily snake, the apex predator, finds a way. And just like that, on to the main event of WrestleMania, Randy goes. Now, was it Shane versus Kurt? Hell no, it wasn't even Test versus Shane, but it was damn good though. Just the fact that they even had Shane come back just for this match, it made it so special. Randy was in his prime, he had sent Vince to the hospital, now Shane's gonna go to the hospital, Stephanie was terrified for her life. The story was perfect, it was such a great angle, and it set everything in motion for Triple H versus Randy Orton, the main event of WrestleMania, and this was just another stop in one of the best builds ever for a Mania main event. No way they don't deliver on that main event, right guys? A great match, a great story, and a great follow-up to Vince getting collapsed in the Rumble 09. But yeah, the show continues and more things for WrestleMania 25 get put into place, and luckily for us, HBK beats the hell out of his former owner, JBL, and is freed. Yes, apparently HBK was no longer destitute and did not need JBL anymore, and on this night, he was finally set free. The match was pretty forgettable to be honest, but I think everyone was just happy that finally HBK was free and that the storyline was over and Shawn could move on to bigger and better things. And if you remember at what happened at the Rumble 09, we knew exactly what those bigger and better things would be. But ladies and gentlemen, what really makes this show special, what really rounds it out and really just cements it as a legendary show was the main event. John Cena was going into his second Elimination Chamber match of his career. The first time he against all odds won the Chamber match just to sadly get destroyed by Mr. Money in the Bank Edge after the match was over. But this time, there was no Edge, there was no Money in the Bank to be worried about, and this time, Cena was older and wiser, and also, his competition in this match, it wasn't anything crazy. I remember actually being surprised back in 09 that this was the main event. I always assumed that the other title match was going to be the main event because this one seems so obvious. Cena's winning. Why would this be the main event? Why don't you guys put the Jeff Hardy, Edge, and Triple H match in the main event? Yeah, little did I know. So it's time for the main event and Cena comes out as champion all happy and dandy and was locked in the chamber pod. Next came Mike Knox. Yeah, many people probably don't remember he was in the company on 9, but he was, and he was in this match. Then came out Kane, and then it was time for the rising star, Kofi Kingston, to make his entrance. Kofi Kingston was definitely a surprise entrant in this match, but it was seen as a big moment for him and honestly for the future of the company. He was getting a lot of steam, he had an awesome moveset, the fans loved him, he was a former IC champion, former tag champion, and that was just 6 months on the Raw roster. He was definitely going places and he was really solid. Everyone knew he wasn't gonna win, but it was still a cool spot for him to have. But we can't have nice things, can we?
You think you know me?
Who else? Who else? Who else could it ever be? Edge runs out like a crackhead in the night, throws poor Kofi Kingston to the steps, gets the chair and destroys Kofi Kingston like a fiend, like a maniac. He does a concerto and everyone just watching him like, doing this, by the way, scrambles all the brain cells Kofi has and then just goes into the ring, goes to the chamber, runs away from Rey Mysterio and locks himself in the chamber pod and he's in the match. What the hell? Edge, just looking so disgusting, so slimy with his stupid face, pulls off another finesse. After getting eliminated by Jeff Hardy, after getting humiliated, he was back. He was back. And it's like, first of all, apparently screw qualifying in these matches. You just gotta run to the ring, get in the chamber before someone else and you're in. Second, this man was on SmackDown. This was a Raw match. And third, wait, Cena and Edge in the Elimination Chamber? No way, right? No way. Edge had done so many scummy things prior to this, it's impossible to rank them all, but this one has to be up there because it's like, really? Poor Kofi? Why you gotta do Kofi Kingston? Like Matt Hardy, I get it, okay? Everyone else, I get, but poor Kofi, man. Kofi gets obliterated before he even reaches the chamber, and then he gets a spot taken by this freak. At this moment, watching this live as a 10-year-old, I knew it was over. I knew it was a wrap. My abuser was back in my life. But jokes aside, what a wild twist. This was something that we had never seen before be done in an Elimination Chamber match. No one could have ever seen this coming. And the fact that it was on the same night that he already had been in one and lost, this was wild. And the match begins, and once again, this is a pretty top-tier Elimination Chamber match. The match begins in a great way with Rey Mysterio and Jericho doing their thing, a little teaser for their great feud they would have in 2009 eventually. Kane came in at number 3 and he tried cleaning house, but low-key, this was the Rey Mysterio show. This was the Rey Mysterio match. Rey did everything in this match. He was a glue that kept everything together and he put on a crazy performance. By 09, Rey was kind of out of the main event spot for a while. It had been, I think, over a year since his last pay-per-view main event. he put in work and he showed the world that he still had it. Mike Knox came in there, who once again, I can't believe he had a job in 2009. During the recession, everyone lost their job except for this guy apparently. Jericho gets him out and out comes Edge, and it's like, okay, we got Edge, Jericho, and Rey in the ring. Cena's waiting to come out. This was stacked. But with these three legends in the ring, back in 09, it was as fire as you can imagine. Just amazing action back and forth. Slimy Edge destroying Rey, Jericho going off, Tower of Doom. Everyone was catching it. And after like 5 minutes of solid action, it was time for Mr. Cena to hit the ring. Cena comes out, the crowd's going nuts, and he goes full Neanderthal mode, okay? Shoulder tackle, belly-to-belly suplex, bulldog, tossing mother Canuckers left and right. It was 2009, it was Super Cena in full force, and listen, Cena was not gonna lose, okay? 5-knuckle shuffle, he grabs Edge, goes for the AA or the FU, whatever you want to call it. Everyone was about to get clapped, but wait, Codebreaker? Well, Edge was going for the ride? Wait, what? And wait, Cena's on the apron? Cena, what are you doing, John? Rey Mysterio, 619 out of nowhere. Oh no, he's stumbling again. Don't turn around. Turn around. Spear. Edge hits him with a spear, and 1, 2, 3, everyone left in the match comes together and eliminates John Cena, eliminates the face of the company, the defending champion, and it was Edge, the man who wasn't even in the damn match, gets the 1, 2, 3, and his iconic face, his iconic reaction says it all. And just like that, a new world champion was going to be crowned. One of these men were going to walk into WrestleMania as world champion, and that slimy, disgusting piece of shit saw his opportunity. What a moment, what a crazy spot, what a perfect moment. It took 3 finishers from 3 top stars to get Cena out, and just like Edge earlier in the night, Cena, the defending champion, didn't even last 3 minutes, and Superman was eliminated. Just when you thought the Edge elimination couldn't be topped, they threw us this. So Cena's eliminated. I'm depressed. Rey Mysterio is the only hope, and these three, hey, they put on a clinic. Rey Mysterio, the MVP of this match, he still goes off, reverses a Walls of Jericho into a pin in a crazy sequence, eliminates Jericho, and it was then down to Rey Mysterio and Edge as the final 2 former tag team partners, former friends. Winner becomes world champion, winner goes to Mania as champion. Rey does everything he can, okay? He's putting on an all-time performance, he's dodging a spear, the crowd is going nuts, everyone is chanting Rey. Rey was our final hope, like literally. Cena was out, it was up to Rey Mysterio. He was the only guy standing between Edge and that world title, and Rey does everything, but it doesn't matter because just like usual, Edge finds a way to ruin everything. So despite getting embarrassed earlier in the night, despite losing his title, despite getting hit with everything and anything Rey could throw at him, he just throws Rey into the glass, kills him, and then spear, gets the 1, 2, 3, and No Way Out 2009 ends with Edge as the World Heavyweight Champion. And all I can say is, what an angle, what a match, what a night, and what a pay-per-view. Somehow, someway, Edge, the rated R superstar who started off the pay-per-view 3 hours ago with the most humiliating loss of his career, comes back and does this and walks out World Heavyweight Champion. Yo, this was, hey, even as someone who as a kid hated Edge, this was a masterclass. It's pretty cool how just 3 weeks after the Rumble 09, which was a classic, they were able to follow it up with this. Not only did it set up Randy Orton versus Triple H at Mania in a huge title match, Randy got even more heat, killed another McMahon member, looked even more crazy, HBK was finally free, Edge went from having the worst night to his best night in 2 hours, Super Cena was dethroned in the most shocking way we could imagine, and it looked like Cena versus Edge at Mania was the play. Just like he was in his prime once again. The road to WrestleMania at this point was already so fun, but after this, it was reaching all-time levels. The chamber matches still meant something, and we were just so lucky to get 2 chamber matches of this quality on one night. The road to WrestleMania was heating up, and it officially became generational on this night, and all they had to do was continue building and deliver at WrestleMania. How hard could that be, right? And not to spoil things, but I think we all know how WrestleMania 25 ended up being, and we'll deep dive that later this month, but I just wanted to bring attention how fire this company was leading into that show, and what a time it was to watch during this era. They started off the year with 2 back-to-back bangers. I personally love this show. I think it is a all-time classic. I think it's an awesome B-level pay-per-view. In the comments down below, let me know, what are your memories of this night? Did you watch it live? Did you watch it on DVD? What do you remember from this? And what do you think of this show? And yeah, don't worry, soon we're going to take a look back at WrestleMania 25, and we're going to take a look at where everything went wrong. But yeah, I'll see you guys very soon. Till then though, take it easy, stay safe out there. Later guys.